Hello my friends, welcome back. Today I think I'm going to be talking about relationships. I find that very difficult. I found it very difficult, and I know that some of the people that I work with also find it very difficult. When you've been in a long-term relationship and you've came out of it, the fear of getting back into a relationship, the fear of change again. You were in your comfort zone with your old partner, and get into a new relationship. Again, we create these images. It all starts with an image. You're physically attracted to the person, what you see, you like, and then we just fall in love, because love is blind, as most of us know. With our image of love, what we perceive to be love, and we expect other people to live up to our image that we have created, our expectation. And we get into a relationship totally blind. We never really get to know the person. We fall in love with the face, the body, and the initial contact. As most of us know who are a little bit older, been in relationships in and out of them, we know that really the relationship begins when you move in with the person. Again, that's for me was a massive downfall, because we're used to doing things on our own, and when there's nobody there, and we're used to that individuality, our own wee comfort zones, and we think moving in with somebody else. And sometimes for me, being a man, I never grew up. I still liked the single life, getting out with the friends and doing all the things that boys done, and forgetting I was a man, I had responsibilities. I seen that relationships were created through the image that I had in my mind, how a partner should behave, shouldn't cause me fear, shouldn't speak ill towards me, blah blah blah. But being hurt in past relationships, or maybe your girlfriend, fiance, your wife leaving you for somebody else, or maybe mistrusting you and sleeping with somebody else behind your back, can absolutely destroy us. Where some people, including myself, swore I would never get into another relationship again, and missing out on the opportunities of growth and love. And as we know, like attracts like. And I found that today, it's like my behaviours were attracting the same people to me in relationships. And when you start to change and come on a spiritual path, and you start to cleanse your soul and renew your mind and start to see things differently, and see that relationships are based on trust and honesty, and that is the foundation that I've found today for any relationship, not just sexually, family, friends, loved ones, colleagues, trust and honesty, and not getting hurt if that person doesn't live up to the expectation that I've had. But if I don't have any expectations, I won't get hurt. I don't even expect a thank you from anybody. But so no, relationships are very difficult. Our past relationships can cause the fear in our lives in the present and in the future, because we've been hurt in the past and we've blamed the other people in the past for what's going on in our present life. And it causes a lot of insecurity in a relationship, and it becomes very rocky. But at the beginning, if we get rid of these images of how a partner should be, and look at your past relationships and see the lessons that could be learned there for us, because all these videos are about us as individuals. It's not about blaming the partner or she shouldn't have done that, blah blah blah. It's looking at your part in that relationship. And don't get me wrong here, some relationships you can get in and you've done everything right or the best of your ability, and it's your partner where the mistrust has came from, and that really hurts us because we never expected that. And that's why I say you never expect in a relationship, and you'll never get hurt. Never put anybody before yourself. To love a person is to love the person inside, not on the outside. And that's what we basically I mentioned, we're attracted to is the face and the body. And it's really getting to know that person. And sometimes in the olden days they used to court or going out with each other for at least a year before they even slept with each other. And they used to do that in the olden days. My granny and grandpa, God rest them, did. And you see most of the old people are all still together because they fought to keep that relationship. Today it's just like in and out, in and out, in and out. And you'll notice the assumptions, the control that we have in relationships. Either we're the controller, we're the ones making the assumptions, or our partner is. And we never got to know them. We never got to know them before we moved in with them. Things were rose in the garden when they were coming up to your house or you were going up to their house. Everything was great, wee arguments here and there. But when you move in, that's when you really it really becomes a struggle. It did for me anyway, personally speaking. Not having that freedom, still having shame and guilt, not being able to do the things that I wanted to do because I was frightened what the other person would think. Now this is a person I've been into a relationship with, a person that I said I really love, so why am I feeling that insecurity? And you'll see it's that it comes from my past, the things that happened to me in the past that destroyed all the relationships that I had. It was my anger, my fear, and it was, I said it was jealous. I was jealous of other people talking to my partner, looking at my partner, but it's fear. It's not jealousy. You're not jealous. You're frightened that someone else is going to take that person, what belongs to you, away from you. And with that mistrust and these assumptions and the anger, no wonder nobody would stay with me. Moaning, following them to their work at times, no trust whatsoever, but saying I loved this person and the pain that I was in, and expecting this person to do what I asked of them. And when they weren't doing it, I was getting angry and really upset. Now, for me, that isn't a relationship. A relationship, as I said, is based on the trust and the honesty and working together to build something, to make it work, and learning from the mistakes in our past relationships and what it's done. And as we know, some people, I don't know, friends of mine who have taken their own lives, people who are severe mental health problems now because of relationships, will never get into a relationship ever again because of the hurt and the message that I had, because I had done this as well, is I couldn't trust myself that I could go back into another relationship and learn from my past so that my new relationship could be a lot better than all the other ones before. And we're missing out on opportunities of growth, spiritual growth. No one can hurt us if we have no expectations. No one can hurt us. And sometimes you could be treating your partner really nice and your partner's not got the same behaviour as you, the same picture as you have created, and she might go, or he might go elsewhere, and you'll sit there and blame yourself. What could I have done better? You've probably tried your best, but your mind's telling you that you've done something wrong because your partner's left you, and they left because that was their choice. They were unhappy because of the picture that they had created. And that's what I'm trying to say, my friends, is like, in a relationship, work together for it. Share honestly and openly with each other. Have no fear. Do not let fear come in between your relationship and that wee voice in the head that tells us where you're gathering evidence of what your partner's up to. You're looking at their phone, you're looking round about their house, because you don't trust them, but you tell them you trust them. And when there's no trust in a relationship, the foundation breaks and crumbles. And as I said, nobody wants to be around about somebody who's continuously want to control them, challenging them where they've been, what they're up to, who they were speaking to, telling them what they should be wearing, how they should be speaking, staying in, controlling through our fear because of something that's happened in the past, and we expect it to happen again in the present and in the future. And it's soul destroying, absolutely soul destroying, relationships. And believe me now, relationships can work if two people sit down and get honest and share about their past and that we don't want this to happen in this relationship, and share openly and honestly like a mother and a child who can start that bond as young people and still go through and have a tremendous relationship as adults, where there's trust and honesty there, where there is no fear, being able to speak your mind and supporting one another in that relationship. There will be no fear. And I've seen for years and years and years that the way I controlled my partner and partners was through my own fear, and no wonder they left, because I don't like being controlled and getting told what to do, and it was all through my fear of someone else taking something that I believed belonged to me. So what is a relationship then? A relationship is based on equality, it's based on love, but again we have to look at our definition. What is love? Is love something we learned in our home and environment, something that we read in books, something that other people have spoken to us, something that we've heard from other people? My definition of love today is what I've experienced through being good to myself and being kind and good to other people, and not expecting anything from anybody at all whatsoever, and knowing that no human being can hurt me, not even in a relationship. because I've learnt to love myself today. Yes, it's sad when you've been in a relationship for a length of time and it crumbles and breaks and it goes, but we have to feel that pain so that we can be stronger in our next relationship, because we're never meant to be on our own. That's where the Adam and Eve thing came from. We're not supposed to be on our own. Well, that's my belief anyway. And it's nice having a companion, it's nice having somebody to share with, and making love with someone, because that is a beautiful experience, as we all know. Sex is sex, but making love is making love. And relationships become stronger and stronger through honesty, openness, and willingness to make it work, to learn to respect one another and to support one another through the hard times as well as the good times as well. And for me, that is a relationship that is based on that mutual respect for one another, not allowing fear to come in between yourself and your partner. And again, it will work, believe me, and it's learning from our past relationships that there is no jealousy, it is only fear. And the past relationships are lessons to be learnt from, where we can take them into the present with us, where there will be joy and peace in your next relationship. And I've learnt, don't have assumptions. Where are we gathering this evidence that our partner's up to something? And why are we mistrusting them when we say they love them? And we know it's destroying them because there's always arguments and fear, and we're blaming our partner for that, when really it's our responsibility. We are the ones that's gathering this evidence that they're up to something, and it's causing dysfunction within the relationship, and it's just damaging your spirit, and it's destroying your relationship that you have. And when that's happening, it spreads out to other parts of our life. We take that when things aren't working in our own relationships, our marriage, our engagement, our boyfriend, girlfriend, our boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend. We take it into our work, we take it into our family, we take it with us. We become depressed, we become addicted to prescribed medications and other drugs or alcohol, because we don't know how to deal with these feelings and emotions. And relationships, for me, is one of the biggest major problems I've ever seen in society, because of this picture that we had created of how a relationship should be and how our partner should behave in this relationship. And as I mentioned, try and not have any expectations whatsoever, and you will see that there will be peace and tranquility in that relationship. Because you look at mummy and daddy's relationship, the day split up, we don't want that. We didn't want that. And sometimes you can go through your life trying to hold on to something that it's not meant to be held on to. Sometimes we have to be strong in relationships to walk away from them as well, where the pain just becomes so much, and to love that person enough is to walk away and let go. And that can be very, very, that takes tremendous courage, my friends, to be able to do that. I know people have done it. I had to do it myself one time. I believed I loved the person enough, but the arguments and fights were just too much, far too much. There was no love there. It was destroyed. It became a sexual thing, where it was just sex, good sex, and that was it. There was nothing else there. There was no emotional brilliance in it. It was emotional wreck, to tell you the truth. And I've been there. I've seen me going into mind-altering chemicals because I couldn't handle the pain in relationships, and that's the reason I speak these wee short videos. You can go into the psychologists and psychodynamics and blah blah blah, whatever you want, but it's a simple thing. It's based on the image that we have created in our mind of how a relationship should be. And if we work hard at a relationship, really hard at it, and you want something, because I believe if you love a person enough, you work to keep that. And if that person's the same thing, and you've got two people after the same thing, because they do love one another. Love at first sight, they say. And as I says, we become attracted to the physical presence. And it takes time to get to know one another when we're maybe going to the dance and are going out for something to eat. But when you start moving in with one another, we start looking at the other person and what they should and shouldn't be doing. Oh, I didn't know you done that. Oh, I didn't know you done this. I didn't know you done that. I'll get that tidied up. And they might be just a person who leaves things that they're behind, but you might be a clean and tidy perfectionist. And when you're seeing this girl or boy who you loved, thought you loved dearly, not living up to your expectations, your standards, and that's where the arguments start, when you start to move in with one another. And they're going out more often and aren't spending time with them, or they're going to their work at nights, and you start to become suspicious, and you start to gather this evidence, and that's a relationship beginning to break down, because that's where the trust is lost and the honesty, when we start to become very suspicious, and start to look about the house when your partner's not in, looking at the phone, checking their phone, checking their text messages, checking in their drawers. I've done all this stuff, following them to work, making sure they were going to where they said they were supposed to go to. No wonder you're laughing. I hope some are getting identification with this. But that's what relationships done to me. Now I'm okay, because I don't have any expectations whatsoever. I trust myself, I love everybody else, and in doing that, it's impossible for another human being to hurt me emotionally and spiritually when you've done the work on yourself and you have no pictures, no images, no expectations. Just living in the moment and enjoying the moment with your partner, and let's see what happens from that, because all we have, my friends, is this moment. And if we're finding out what love is, it can take a long time, because of the picture of love that we had sometimes doesn't work out that way. Love is kind, love is patient, love is tolerance, love is acceptance, love is understanding, love is humility. We could use all these words. Love is action. And if you love the person enough, then you'll do something to keep that person, if that person still loves you. So just have a wee look at your thinking, your standards, your expectations that you have. Look at the pain that you feel, the fear that's controlling you, and it's destroying your relationship. So, and try and work on that, and you'll see your relationship will work. And I hope to speak to you again soon, my friends. But I hope that just a wee short talk can help you give an understanding that relationships can be very painful. But if you work at it and take responsibility for your own thinking, your own actions, you will see things will change. And I'll be back soon. Thanks very much, everybody. Peace be with you, my friends.